Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a quick update on my mushroom. So today is called All About Mushrooms. Okay, as you can see to my left here, these are blue oyster mushrooms, right? Blue oyster mushrooms, and to my right, that's wine cap mushrooms, and you can see the color on the top of them. It's wine cap mushroom. So this is a wine cap mushroom that we're going to look at. And today we're going to have two recipes cooking wine cap mushrooms. Now mushrooms, as I call part one, I'm an amateur mushroom grower. So the part two will be semi-commercial and commercial mushroom growers. And I'll show you exactly how mushroom is layered in buckets. See what I've got in this bucket. I had many experiments. If you come here, zoom up here, and you'll see the mycelium, the white mycelium taken over. It's taken 2 weeks for that to do. So the mycelium, 2 weeks, and they're flushing. So mushrooms are flushing and they'll be ready in 2 days, the oyster mushrooms. Now with the wine cap mushrooms, now these mushrooms took about, in July, I fixed the beds. They cannot grow in buckets, they've got to grow outside, and will come together with me, and I'll show you exactly how the beds look like. Now this batch that I got, the wine cap mushrooms, I picked yesterday. Now you've got to be careful. Look at this one. I missed this one. You miss it a day or two and you're going to have this monster. You can have actually double the size I had. I had one of these wine cap mushroom weighing 578 grams. One mushroom, 578 grams. Now if you can see on the top of these mushrooms, you see all these marks, right? The slugs that I have in my backyard have no snails, but slugs love these mushrooms. And I always try to get rid of slugs as best as I can. Now, so basically I'll tell you how many I got rid of last week. Over 1,000 slugs I got rid of last week. And they're still coming and going, and I cannot stop them. I'm not sure. If you know somehow how to prevent slugs naturally, getting rid of them, please comment below and let me know. Now what I'm going to do now, like I said, it's going to be a very, very short video apart from the cooking section. Now apart from now, we're going to go and have a look quickly at one of these wine cap mushroom beds, and I'll show you the one that is most productive. Okay, so let's go. Just turn it off. Okay, look at this. Look at kale. You're going to look at all this, kale, silver bee. Oh, look at the baby. Now, let's go to my bed here. Got this one? Oh, duck your head, duck your head, duck your head, duck your head. Good girl. All right. Here's the little bed that I've done my wine cap mushrooms. You can see, wine cap literally, look at me. Wine cap literally don't grow on animal manure composted like the button mushrooms. So you can't do that. So they love hardwood. So hardwood chip. They love this thing. And if you zoom in here, I'll open a little bit, and you'll see all the white mycelium. Look at that. See that? White mycelium. And how do I know they're ready to fruit? Well, remember, this is a garden bed, and you treat it as a garden. You water it. If you keep watering it like the normal garden, you're going to have a lot. Just this little bed of 1 square meter, I think I got around about 8 to 9 kilos of mushrooms so far. So that's not bad for one little garden bed. So it's a lot of mushrooms. I don't know what to do with them all, but it's a lot of mushrooms. So remember, these mushrooms, wine cap, do not grow on composted manure. In other words, they don't grow on shit, basically. Neither do oyster mushrooms. Composted stuff really well. If you want to grow really well, that one's growing really well, and I'll give you a secret, part two, how to grow it so well like I did, just in simple buckets. And these buckets, I got it for free, and as I said in my previous videos, they are food grade buckets. People normally throw them away, so why not? Yeah, lady, you liked it. Yes, look at that. Look at that. Say, that kale. Shall we go cooking now? Okay, thank you. Let's go cooking. Hi, now we're in my kitchen again, and let's show you two recipes using my mushrooms. And I have all the ingredients cut up, which make life easy. Okay to go. So basically what I'm going to do, if you can watch my chili video previously, I've got green chili sauce here, and it's probably about, I don't know, about 5 months old. Put a little bit, half a teaspoon. Now, so I'm going to add some garlic to this, a lot of garlic, because it's going to be mushroom garlic, which I forgot to say. So let's add the garlic, quite a few bit of garlic, and the rest of the garlic. Now the second part of the cooking is going to be a soup. So the soup is going to be here. Here's the water all starting to go. We're going to add my garlic to it. Garlic, 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 garlic. Now, garlic, get all the garlic out of the way. That's quite a bit. Might add some more here. So garlic mushroom mix. So let's go here. Okay. Now, so this is. So we're going to start. We added some extra virgin olive oil. Let's go. So it's my normal recipe usage. Now I'm going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive to the soup as well. So maybe a teaspoon or two. Doesn't hurt. Now with that I'm going to add a teaspoon of pure sesame seed oil. Right. So let's go for that roughly. That'll do. And then I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of soy sauce. So let's go with that. And I'll just judge it as I normally do. That's it. So a touch of salt. Where's my salt? So hopefully it doesn't break. Okay, so a touch of salt. I'm breaking that. So add a little bit of salt and then shake it, broken a little bit here, and a little bit in there. Okay, so that's my salt, pink Himalayan salt. Anyway, so let's go. Now what I like to do is my kale. I'm going to add a little bit of kale to this mix, which I chopped finely. So I took out the stalks. The stalks are gone on the kale, and I'm going to add the mushrooms that I've cut up, the wine cup mushrooms. Add to the mix, quite a few. Okay. Now I'm just waiting for my soup to boil before I add the rest of the mushrooms and the rest of the greens. Now, one thing I forgot, I'm going to add some chili to both because I love chilies, and that's. So let's go. Add a teaspoon of chili to my soup, and what I'm going to do next is the following. For the soup, I'm going to add the mushrooms. Okay, the water's warmed up enough, so add the mushrooms to the soup. Okay, and then also to the soup, I'm going to add we've got some kale and silver beet. I'm adding to it, including the stalks. Now for this recipe, I took the stalks out. These are the stalks of the kale. So I'm not using the stalks of the kale in this case because it takes time to break down. But in the soup, it's okay. So let's mix that up. Now remember, you might sometimes need to have a bit more oil, depending on these mushrooms do not break down. These mushrooms do not break down like the white button mushrooms. That they don't break down. They stay fairly the size that you cut them. So they'll stay the size, and they'll stay crispy as well. If you're not used to crunching a mushroom, it will be crunch, crunch, crunch as you're eating it. So this is what we're doing. Now let's cook it down, and we'll come back to when it's almost ready. Alright, our mushrooms, the pan-fried mushrooms are basically done, as you can see. Now, what you can do with these, we're going to add some eggs, so like a mushroom little omelette, but I'm not going to mix the eggs, I'm going to break them directly into the mix, as such. Just 3 eggs will do, and I'll stir them in. And see, there you go, 2, 3 eggs. If you want to add less eggs, if you want to add more eggs, it's up to you. Okay. Remember we added salt earlier, but there's no need adding salt. And now I've got the eggs in, so let's go mix them in. Oh, beautiful colour eggs, free range eggs. You see the orange yolk, got the yellow. So we're stirring it in and make like a little quick omelette. Lots of mushrooms to go. And what I do mainly, make sure the eggs are cooked right through because before I take them out, I don't want them. I don't want to have raw eggs, not these ones anyway. So it's coming through. Let's turn the heater down a little bit. Heat down a little bit. Now, if you look back over to my soup, now see my soup is boiling. So what I've done, I just lowered it, and I'm going to simmer this for 10 to 15 minutes. So simmer the soup, and I'll show you a trick later what to do with the soup if you want noodles with the soup. And I'll show you a trick I find it good, so I don't know how you're going to find it. Okay, so let's do that. The omelette's nearly ready, as you know, it's quick and quick and easy. So let's put this down. The omelette's ready, so I'm going to put this down. I've got the heat still on, let me just turn it down a little bit. Okay. Now, there's a reed, so let's put the omelette in here. Okay, now, so the omelette's done. Now what I'm going to do, I'll put this back on the heat and put some olive oil. The reason I'm doing this, and I forgot to cut my rolls, and I'm going to just fry the rolls into this oil. Remember, there's plenty of garlic everywhere, so I'm going to get my roll, cut it in half, and there's my rolls, beautiful Italian rolls, nice and firm. Let's cut them in half. All I'm going to do is toast them on one side, like such as that, and let's toast them for a bit, and that's it for us. Let's toast them, and then we're going to get a plate. I'm going to get a plate, 1 minute. So we're just toasting the bread. Still a bit to go. Stir my little soup, my little teaspoon. That's it, let it go. Get off there. Stuck in my... Okay, get off. Now let that cook a little bit through. Now what I'm going to do is finish toasting this. A little bit more, just a touch more, and then we're done. Alright, so let's have a look again. A little bit more, we'll turn it up a little bit higher. Now, so we're going to be putting this across. Let me just get somewhere to plate it with. Now, so our soup, okay, we've got another about 5 minutes to go. We can take it off now because, you know, you can have things without breaking down too much unless you want it really broken down. And remember in this soup you can add carrots, broccoli, other things as well, but just want to make it simple soup, and you don't need to add more. All the ingredients came from my backyard. Kale and silver beet came from my backyard, organically grown, so everything's fine. And the garlic obviously is not, but hopefully one day I'll have successful garlic. I have never really tried it. Alright, the bread is burning, so I better get it going out. Okay, here we go. Now, So here's my bread. Here I'm gonna put some eggs on there. I mean eggs and mushrooms. And let's have a look. Line it up. And so you put down layer as much as you like. Now if you're a lover of cheese, you can put a bit of cheese down, or anything else that you might find interesting. Alright, there. Okay, now put this down here. Now, so I've got my basically done. Now I'm going to put some shallots or scallions on it. So press them down on both sides. Raw. And this is done. Now what I'm going to show you next, I'm going to change this. I need this bowl, and I'll show you what I'm going to do regarding the soup. So I'm going to empty this in there. Now, just wait a minute. Now what I'm going to show you, if you like, all those people that love noodles, if you love noodles, now I'm going to show you without cooking the noodles in the soup, and you can take a little bit of soup, and I'll show you what you can do, and the noodles will cook because the soup is still boiling. Just 1 minute. Set it up now. Alright, I'm back. I've just got a pack of noodles, cheapest noodles possible. Don't need anything. I've got a pack of noodles. Right, now what I'm going to do with these noodles, I'm going to take them out. I'm not going to use this stock. I'm just going to fry it in a bit, as I normally do. Now, here's my noodles. Right, now, what you do, you crunch the noodles up. Fine. Can you hear that? So nice and fine. Now, so the noodles are broken up fairly well. Now, what I'm going to do now is get a ladle and ladle some of the soup, hot soup into it. Here we go. So that's what I'm going to do. And so you've got soup without anything, with no carbohydrates. Now we're going to have a soup, mushroom soup, which we're going to ladle into with the noodles. And you're going to leave it there maybe 2 to 3 minutes. And there you go, that's it. Okay, it's all done. And here's the mushroom. There it is there. So we're going to wait about 3 minutes before that's ready to go. And let's try it. So we're stirring it in. So let's try out the bread and the eggs. And we have someone that's filming here. So let's come over here. Well, here we come. Here's our first dish. There you go, as you can see. Now, I'm not somebody else will test this for me as well. So let's have a look. So I'll take this and have a look. If you like mushrooms, I like mushrooms. It's the best tasting mushrooms that I've eaten. So, it's very nice. One of the best omelettes you can have. Basically, to grow the wine-cap mushroom, I know people say in Latin names, Stratifolia, Rugoso, Annulata, but this is beautiful. You know? So, we're going to have a look at the soup. I just want to go grab the soup. So just give me a second. I'm going to taste the soup. Alright, I've got my soup. Alright, doesn't look much. We could have added carrots for colour, any other vegetable that you can think of. Now, this is all about mushrooms though, and the other bits are very simple. Now, the noodles are cooked. So let's have a look, taste of this. Let's grab a mushroom. The mushroom in there. So let's have a look. You can feel the chili coming through. The green chili paste is beautiful. If you get a chance, look at my video if you haven't done so. How it's made easy. It makes in like a couple minutes. The noodles are cooked well. So if you're cooking anything like this, how easy it is. You don't have to cook things separately, you just cook it in the same water separately. And you can have that water with the mushrooms as maybe as a stock. Something like that. Which one I prefer? Depends. On a cold day, I would prefer the soup. On a warm day, I'd prefer the roll with the mushrooms. All right, please remember, comment below if you have any questions. Yes, and I forgot, I have to mention a few young people's names that asked me to mention them, which have been watching my video and they said they were cooking some recipes. One is Adesina, next one is Melissa, next one's Jeremiah, next one is Diana, and next one is Rani. If I've forgotten anyone, I'll mention it into part 2. Remember, stay tuned for part 2, which could be maybe a month or 2 months, because if you're really interested in growing mushrooms, I'm going to go more in detail and depth how the mushrooms that you saw coming out of the buckets and the ones that are coming out of the ground that you saw that I picked yesterday, and how to do it exactly. But that I might break that video into 3 parts because otherwise it's going to take too long. Please subscribe, thumbs up, like, and we'll catch you next time. Bon appetit. Bye.